Today we have a guest who is third time Lok Sabha member of Parliament and at the same time member of one of the strongest political families in India. Recently this family and her party are in headlines for number of reasons. We welcome Ms. Supriya Sule. The preparation for Lok Sabha elections, the crucial Lok Sabha elections is started across aisle. Where do you see your party in this whole battle?
Well, clearly, whoever is a candidate today for Lok Sabha has already started working. Pan-India. So, we are 500 MPs in Delhi. We are all who want to contest have started working. There are some who lost last time have started working. So, it's not just about our party. Every party knows that there's a Lok Sabha election and everybody started working.
Actually, I asked you this question because there are recent reports and some developments which suggest that NCP is going closer to BJP. So, do you believe that you will stay in opposition camp or there is some possibility that...
See, the whole point is NCP has been going close to BJP is a story I've heard since 2014. We're in 2023, if you look at data. And to the best of my knowledge, for what I'm working, is I'm working for 2024 April, probably my voting will be, and most of us who are wanting to fight this election. And alliances don't get formed in a haphazard manner. Unfortunately, India has seen so much disruption, which is very concerning for me politically. I'm not talking about you, me, or what's happening in the state. But I always feel that such disruptions hurt growth and development, because everybody needs a stable government and it needs a very good team. And I feel in Maharashtra right now, I'm not being critical, but let's analyze the situation. Let me walk out of the party and look at it as a neutral citizen first, because I am a citizen of this state and this country first. So what I really feel is alarming is that such a big state doesn't even have enough ministers. And it is a lot of work if you want to work. Yeah. So to have a government which doesn't even have, I don't even want to get into gender. Anyway, it's shameful that there's not even one woman in this cabinet. Absolutely shameful. But I won't even go beyond that. Of course, it's shameful that there is no woman. Plus, you don't even have a full-fledged cabinet for 8 months. I mean, are you running a state or what's going on? So I think we need to take politics and our responsibilities more seriously. It's not just about gossip that, oh, who's going with this? Come on. Politics is a very, very serious profession, responsibility, and our stakeholders.
Yes.
What about protecting our stakeholders who have shown faith in us?
Do you think that NCP is able to give stable government?
NCP has always given stability. We have never made any governments fall. We have never done such things. We look at our track record. It's a party for 24 years. People have been very kind to us, given us an opportunity to serve them. Because I look at power not just as power. I look at it as a tool to serve the people in this nation. That's what power means to me. It's a tool to serve people and improve people's lives.
Interestingly, you are very vocal and very straightforward. I have been seeing you in politics for last at least 15 years and the way you speak clearly, but this time you are not giving clear answer that no, we are not going to have an alliance with BJP at all, or we are going to form, or we will look in situations.
There is no dialogue right now.
Okay.
So it's like hypothetical conversations. Can I tell you it's going to rain on the 1st of May? No, I don't. So right now when Mahavikas Aghadi is in an alliance, I'm actually fatigued by the gossip on channels and newspapers, because there are so many stories which I can tell you which don't even exist happening on the channels. So I don't know who's planting it, and sometimes I feel maybe there is this power somewhere coming from somewhere which actually is running NCP down, because it seems like, look at the way things have happened. I'm just trying to think out of the box sometimes, that the Kharghar incidents happen.
Yes.
And exactly parallelly that time, the whole focus from Kharghar had shifted to NCP.
There are some incidents like your party president Pawar Sahib gave an interview to NDTV where he was actually against the idea of JPC. Where
but that's not new. Even in Parliament we said the same thing, which is 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago, we have said this in an all-party opposition meeting in Parliament. Everybody knew. Even in Parliament floor of the House, that was our stand. That time, nobody looked too much into it.
Because that interview started, this is break to opposition unity.
No, but this happened then 6 weeks before. Then how y'all didn't realize it?
Okay.
It was the same thing. Because when we were in Parliament, this was our same stand in Parliament.
So this is continuous stand and...
Of course, it's a 6 weeks old stand. Okay. Y'all have made it into an NDTV interview. But our stand has been consistent even before that. So for 6 weeks, how come nobody thought of it differently?
Okay, so there was another incident. Your
and
party...
what is a JPC of Adani got to do with opposition alliance? Can't you have differences?
Because 19 parties were supporting this and...
So what? You can have an opinion.
Yeah,
what's wrong? And isn't this a democracy?
Yeah,
is it authoritarian that everybody has to speak in the same voice? It's a vibrant democracy. Everybody has a right.
But this is also a political matter. Congress is
How is it a political matter?
Congress is trying to...
No, but Congress has an opinion. Nothing wrong with it. We respect Congress's opinion.
Okay.
So, I mean, the whole idea of a vibrant democracy is we have to agree to disagree.
Yes. So this is not just one incident, but because
this, I mean, I can't even. I'm amused that you think this is an issue. I'm really amused.
There was another incident. Your party supported Nagaland government.
Yeah.
NDPP.
Yeah.
The NDPP government is stable. They already have numbers.
Yeah.
Enough numbers. Still, your party supported.
Who's the chief minister? Which party does he belong to?
So he belongs to the NDPP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he belong to BJP?
No. But BJP is in power there. And
no, it is BJP is the chief minister from BJP.
No, BJP, it is not, he is not from BJP. Okay, but BJP is in power and
if the MLAs have a certain view for development and if the head of that government is not a BJP member, what's wrong with that if the local MLAs feel something and this man is going to help them in development?
See,
it's not a BJP led government.
Yeah, that is I agree. BJP is part of that government.
Part of that government where these MLAs took this line.
Political observers, you may call it, so they started believing that Nagaland was a tasting.
Okay.
NCP was tasting water.
Okay.
And after that, this whole Maharashtra saga and all the talks started. So do you connect these dots or
I can't connect. I really can't connect any dots. I get very little time to speculate. I'm so busy in my constituency, so I have very little time. I'm too busy doing development work. So I get very little time to join any dots.
So let's come to Maharashtra. This last 15 days, I know Ajit Pawar has clarified his position. He is saying that he is going to stay in party. He is not going anywhere. But this incident also gave us an idea that there is strong persuasion in your party to tie up with BJP.
Really?
Yeah, because otherwise many MLAs, 5 to almost 10 MLAs publicly said that whatever the decision Ajit Dada is taking, we are with him and all. So there is strong persuasion. This is an interpretation of the situation. So do you believe that ahead of Lok Sabha election this is going to explode?
What is the interpretation? Who decides an interpretation? There is a situation, there's the painting on this wall. I'll interpret it my way, you will interpret it your way.
Yeah.
So how do you know that just because 10 MLAs say that we will go with whatever Ajit Pawar says, how do you interpret that? Has Ajit Pawar ever said that this is what he wants to do?
So how do you interpret it?
I don't interpret, I interpret it as gossip.
What?
I absolutely interpret it as gossip because if a channel man comes and asks me, hey, kai karna? I'm like, I don't know. I've not even asked him, so how can I say it? And I don't want to be on the media. I'm just not getting into argument or a discourse,
yes.
And I'm not accountable. I'm accountable to my stakeholders.
Yes.
Who are my stakeholders? Is my well-wishers, my family, the party and Baramati Lok Sabha. My entire constituency is my stakeholder. I owe it to them. So they ask me, I'm 100%, I have to give them an honest answer. But if somebody says, Yanni tya gavat, they said this, so you give, I don't know what he said it. And I never reply to such things because I don't know who's saying what in which context.
In middle of these all happenings, there was one statement reported by local Marathi media that Supriya Sule also said that there are two big political blasts are going to happen.
Now I want to ask the media, who asked me this question? Let's put it in perspective. I'm glad you asked me.
So what actually happened?
I'm so hurt or disappointed that the media will use parallel jokes as mainstream media. It's so alarming actually because I was coming down the steps in Purandar. One journalist asked me and I laughed at him and I said, are you kidding me? There's nothing like that happening. So, and then he said, no. I said, then why all bombs have to burst only in Maharashtra and Bombay? Let one burst in Delhi and one here. That's all. It was a joke.
So that was a joke.
It was not an interview. It was not an interview at all.
Okay. All these things are happening because there are reports, and we have been seeing this for at least last 6-8 years. Your family is facing number of agencies, be it IT, ED raids on some of the family members we have seen. So this kind of pressure, so this is talk that to avoid this harassment, and I will call it harassment because everyone is saying it is a harassment. So to avoid this harassment, Pawar family is thinking something different than the eternal political line. So what do you say?
No, I would talk to you about agencies very seriously because agencies is not something which is like gossip or a light conversation.
Yes.
It's very concerning for me, and I have spoken about this several times even in Parliament. And I used to call it ICE. People get iced in this country, which is income tax, CBI and ED. ICE. I-C-E. So it's income tax for I, C for CBI, E for ED. So people get iced in this country. And there were several, I mean, I take this very seriously. This is not just a threat or make fun of somebody. That's not, I'm not even trying to be condescending to the ruling government, because there are some things in the country you have to take seriously, and they have to be by the constitution. And just because some mistakes are made in the past, two wrongs don't make a right. So just because, aapne bhi ye kiya, isliye hum kar rahe, that's not a good enough justification. How do you evolve as a society? How do you evolve as a country? How do you evolve as a democracy? By doing more right things. And what the data in the newspaper says, and this is not my RTI, this is RTI which is come in newspapers, that 95% of ICE is in the opposition. And what is very, very concerning to me is when the Honorable Prime Minister said, na khaunga, na khane dunga, trust me, even I believed it. And I really feel that if there is a Prime Minister who's going to come and clean up the system, we may have ideological differences, but every Prime Minister brings something good. And if he's really going to reduce corruption in this country, I think it's a wonderful thing. When he started cleaning up this country, we did that activity in Baramati. Because to clean your country is nothing wrong. It's our country.
Swachh Bharat Mission.
Swachh Bharat Mission was a welcome program. And that doesn't mean we are close to BJP. But if the Honorable Prime Minister comes up with a wonderful program, we should all support it. And there may be so many programs that Manmohan Singh ji did, which I'm sure Modi ji as Gujarat Chief Minister may have supported. So everything is not about ideology. Sometimes you have to do something for your country. And look at the larger picture. Everything is not about votes, you know. So, and I take my job very sincerely and very seriously. So I don't get into all this. But when I was very concerned about these agencies, because I saw a lot of people I know personally who have come and really cried and told me about the challenges that they are going through emotionally, their families going through, have moved sides and are feeling much better now. There are some people, I can't name them because I cannot name in private conversations, but that would be breach of trust, so I would never say that. But I'll give you an example of many people who have openly said it in the press.
Yes.
That we are going now with BJP so we sleep better.
So there are two examples in Maharashtra only.
I don't want to name anybody, but I just feel that it's very concerning that if people feel comfortable that just because you join, you're putting a whole institution at stake. ED, CBI and income tax are independent, strong. I mean, I'd like to believe that they are very honest institutes which were built. Were they misused, not misused? I'm not getting into the track record. But just because somebody else misused them, why should I do them? Then how do I bring in the change?
Yes.
How am I the change? If I'm going to repeat the same things that are done in the past, that cannot be a justification. So I really feel that if somebody has done something wrong, please, government must go by the constitution and do the right thing. But if they change sides, they can be forgiven. Is not a good example for this nation and for the future of this nation is what. And I would even say this, even if UPA did this, my opinion would have been the same then, now, and tomorrow.
you think that kind of pressure is already on NCP and people are...
Well, NCP has paid a very big price. Nawab Bhai is still very much in. Khadse Sahib's son-in-law is still very much in. Anil Deshmukh ji went in. The entire allegation was of 100 crores.
Yeah.
The final thing was about 1 crore. What happened to 99 crores? They were raided 109 times. This is like a world record. I've said this in Parliament.
Yes.
Ki they've created a world record which can be put on paper. 109 times a family gets raided. Has anybody ever thought what that family went through, what Mrs. Deshmukh went through, what Nawab Bhai's family is going through, and many families like
even
that.
Hasan Mushrif is
Mushrif Sahib's family's inquiry that is going on. The way his wife was that day on one of the channels, I saw so pained Mrs. Mushrif was. Milk was not allowed into the house. I mean, almost inhuman. What have they done? My whole question is, what have all these people done? Bhujbal family. I've seen the trauma that family is going through. It's not easy, you know. It all sounds very glamorous, wonderful from outside. The suffering that family, not only the women, even the children of that family, the little grandchildren in every home. It's not easy for them. So when you do these big political things, please understand, politics is about service, not about fear. And when you put people like this, the entire family or their well-wishers, the party, that the pain that they go through. I see Nawab Bhai's family, their daughters, their children traumatized. Everybody's grandchildren are traumatized.
So on a serious note, this kind of pressure on all the leaders, including your family leaders. So this kind of pressure is forcing you to rethink about MUA alliance.
You know, I won't say selfishly just about my family. That's not. NCP is a large family. And it's not only about us, it's about, look at Sanjay Rautji, what he went through, what his family, I'm very close to his daughters. I know the trauma. Look at his mother, at the age she sort of was such a, she gave strength to us instead of we running. She said, "Na, sagla theek hona re." You know, and she was the pillar of strength when Raut Sahib was in jail. So please, we have to think about all this, the larger picture in all this. And politics doesn't work like this. Politics, again I tell you, politics and power is a tool to serve people. I think we've all as a society lost our way. That why are we in politics and what is this administration supposed to do for you? When people say pannas khoke ekdam okay, it's not pleasurable for me.
Yes.
And it's very easy for me to criticize. Please understand, I'm in that opposition. But I don't like it because it pains me because my state gets a name. I come from this state and whatever I am today is because of this state. I don't like this when I go to Delhi. People say, "Arey, tumhare yahan to sarkar aise hoti." It's not a pleasant thing to hear.
Yeah.
Everything can't be just political. There is something called pride. I am proud of my nation, I am proud of my state, and I am proud of my party and the people that I belong to and I represent. So I think unfortunately what has happened is the whole discourse in this country has changed and it's actually hurting my entire fraternity. It's not just hurting people, it's hurting because we are putting our credibility at stake.
Ultimately political thing. Everyone knows that this is political thing and this is happening just because there are some political gains they are eyeing. So the people behind power eyeing. So do you think this is going to be a crucial part in future of MUA in Maharashtra?
But see, logically, they have the numbers.
Yeah.
So, why would they want anything more? Because they have the numbers, they have a government. They are not even expanding, I don't know why. They have enough MLAs and I'm sure they have capable people. And I'm clearly pained because it's so the whole gender imbalance in this government is very unfortunate.
So when it comes to the opposition unity and forming a new opposition alliance, because all talks are being held, you go and come to Delhi. So we saw Pawar Sahib with Khargeji, and K.C. Venugopal came to Mumbai, he was with Uddhav Thackeray and all. But people believe that without having proper economic agenda, without having proper social justice agenda, people will not vote just because they are anti-BJP.
I agree with you.
So do you think that opposition should start working on this agenda as soon as possible?
You have to have see, Mahavikas Aghadi came. We came with a common minimum program.
Yeah.
So clearly, see, it's not just about, you can't, why should people vote for you just because you're anti somebody? That's not what we have. We have to have a strong common minimum program which we need to bring to the people, and that should come not just by talking about it. We'll have to reach out through our rallies and tell people why they should vote for us.
Yes.
I completely agree with you, and we need to talk more openly about our common minimum program.
But there is no discussion about this anywhere.
Of course, we always have it when we meet.
Okay.
In our internal meetings, it's always discussed.
In internal
Always.
meeting of NCP.
No, NCP,
opposition.
Mahavikas Agadi in Delhi.
Okay.
So many times we all meet, so much we discuss all this. But see, everything we don't come out, no, in your editorial meeting, what you discuss, you're not going to come and tell me.
Yeah.
So how can any opposition leader come and tell you, "Arey, ye hua andar," and then there is this source said that.
So my another question, this disqualification of Rahul Gandhi. People believe that this has alerted the entire opposition. What is going to happen? This same happened with your party MP Mohammad Faisal. So how do you see it?
It's very, very unfortunate. I mean, even I think for Mr. Gandhi, the way it happened was unfortunate. And what happened to Faisal was complete injustice. And fortunately, I mean, I'd like to thank every supporter of NCP in Lakshadweep as well as the courts who finally gave us justice. And then we followed up regularly with the Speaker's office. And eventually it all, went the right way. And Faisal, who's an elected representative, got justice. But I think politics cannot be vindictive. And again then the story will be, "Arey, this happened during emergency, this happened." I don't think we can constantly go back to the past. And just like I said, two wrongs don't. Just because somebody did something wrong, that doesn't give you the permission to do the same thing again. Then how are you different than them?
Yes.
You're the same.
Yes.
So that's not a good enough justification for me. And if we represent modern India, and the constitution is so important to us, then how do we bring in the new modern age India to say to the world that this is one of the most vibrant democracies in the country, which is modern, which is equal, which is gender aware, and will make sure that it becomes an equal place for every citizen to live with self-respect.
My last two questions. First is the NCP lost its national status, and also TMC lost the same. But TMC is going to challenge this election commission order, I read somewhere. So what is the stand of NCP?
NCP is going to go work harder in many states and fill the category, and we'll do it.
No legal battle over this?
I'm not sure. We haven't really discussed the legal battle because I'm not sure if we are going to win the legal battle. So we're in the process of discussing, and we'll of course talk to Trinamool Congress also.
So last question again back to Maharashtra. What is going to happen to Mahavikas Agadi? Because everyone is still speculative what is happening, all this happening. So
speculation I can't stop.
Yeah.
And nobody can stop speculation.
But will MVA be intact?
Why would it not be?
Because of number of things.
I mean, when it was formed, nobody thought it will last more than 3 months.
Yeah.
And our government would have lasted 5 years had these people not gone away. So who thought? First of all, did you even think Mahavikas Agadi will exist? No, we were written off. NCP was packed off and said, "Party over. This party is finished."
Back in 2019 election.
In 2019 election, everybody had written us off. We gave it as pack up, pack, go for us. So, politics is not something that is just a game of numbers and logic. It's about people, it's about emotions, it's about our connect to people, it's for us to go to people. Our stakeholders will decide our future.
Thank you so much for talking
My
to
pleasure.
Frontline.